Assalamu alaikum, welcome to a new episode of Fullmetal Fukumi, where we're talking about niche stuff, mainly Super Robot Wars, mainly Josei Muke stuff primarily aimed at women, like shoujo manga, some arcade games for little girls like Aikatsu, Pretty Series, Pretty Prism, etc. And Heaven Benzred as well, Genshin as well, a lot of things I like, and maybe some things you haven't heard about before. So I need to repeat that every time because I realize I don't mention this often, but this isn't really a news show. This is also why I stopped calling it a news show, as in I don't cover breaking news. Like I only try to cover things I want to talk about and things you probably haven't heard about. So I'm not gonna talk about something popular unless I think I have something interesting to say in terms of analysis, or if it's just a series I really like. So as always, some quick stuff here. I have a main site with articles where I mainly do in-depth analysis and phases, and I avoid writing standard news articles because I don't want to write anything time sensitive. I want to write things, even if you check them years later, it will still be interesting in terms of analysis. And I do a lot of translations, translating Japanese interviews, Japanese live streams, official live streams, and sometimes I also do some summaries of streams that some of the seiyuu I like do, like Nakamura, Yuichi, etc. And yeah, and most of the last month in June, I did a summary of the. I did a translation of the Persona 5 collab in Heaven Benzred. It was really interesting. So, like, I took me like maybe 6 hours in total. So I'm not a professional translator, obviously, and I was discovering the story myself at the same time. So it was a little bit rough and a little bit difficult to translate, but I think I did an overall okay job. So if you're interested, like, I assume the collab will be available, released in English, maybe sometime in 2027 or something. But yeah, like, I really liked it, and I think overall it was a really, really good collab. It's not often in social game gacha games you have a good crossover story like this. So yeah, and last but not least, I have to thank the people as usual who are subbing to the coffee and helping me out to support me with this, doing more articles, more stuff, etc. So yeah, like I did, I most totally do phasers on my toast, on new announcements, on some ongoing stuff, etc. Talking about politics, talking about support wars, etc. I also did this really long retrospective talking about Story of Seasons, Bokujo Monogatari, and Ruin Factory. So I think it's a really interesting article, so check it out. I did also this pretty good article on the 35th anniversary of Support Wars, you should check it out as well. So yeah, and you have the coffee here where you can support me to help me out with this, to keep doing these videos and these articles. And yeah, and if you want to support me for free, you can also subscribe to the YouTube, of course, and subscribe to the site newsletter, and share the articles with your own feeds and your friends. So yeah. So the main thing I wanted to talk about this video is how so the weekend of the July 5th, July 6th, there was the latest King of Prism concert event, right? The King of Prism Pretty Boy Special Thanks Party and the King of Prism Super Live Prism Tours. So this was one of the events celebrating the 10th anniversary of King of Prism. King of Prism by Pretty Prism. The first movie was released in 2016, January. And they announced the next movie there, King of Prism TriStar Act. And this is going to be the first big project celebrating the 10th anniversary. It's the next movie, the sequel. It's the sequel, the real sequel. It's taking place after Minna Kiramike Prism Tours. It's going to be the next movie in the story. And like, Prism Tours was very successful. Like, if you look at this article I made, I was talking about how Prism Tours passed over 500 million yen in revenue, and it's the first movie in the franchise that managed to surpass the box office revenue of the original movie in 2016. So yeah, and I'm not surprised that they announced the new one so fast, because usually it takes a little bit of time for the next movie to get announced, right? But this time it was pretty fast because thanks to King Tours being so popular. So one thing I was wondering about, and I talked about this in a previous article, if you read this, I was like, I wouldn't say I was worried, but like, I was wondering if maybe every single King of Prism movie moving forward will also include the crossover characters and actually feature the characters from Pripara and Perichan, the boys' characters, etc. But it seems like they're not going to do that, which is like, I wouldn't say it's a relief, but like I'm happy at the same time they're not doing that, because yeah, one of the reason, like I said in this article, I think Intos wouldn't have reached these numbers if not for the characters from the other Prechi series, if not for codings, if not for Wiz especially, if not for Truth, etc. If not for doing the crossover thing, Mario from Idle Land, Pretty Para, etc. Like, I'm not sure if the movie would have worked so well. So, and yeah, like, so they reveal the trailer, and they're talking about trio shows, and this is also pretty cool. This is also pretty cool because, in a way, trios are like the essence of Prechivism in a way, because it's always been trios at the beginning of the series. So it's one reason why I'm very excited for this. And I'm gonna keep the trailer running and then we're going to talk about it. But yeah, like trios, if you look at Aurora Dream, Aira, Mion, Izumu, the original trio, if you look at Prechivism Miniskirt, the very first game, arcade game released in July 2010, it's going to celebrate its 16th anniversary Prechi series on July 11th, with the anniversary of Prechivism Miniskirt, the very first arcade game which inspired later Prechivism or Aurora Dream, and Dear My Future and Rainbow Life, and then King of Prism being the sequel to Rainbow Life. So yeah, if you look back at the history of the series, trios have been like the big thing right from the beginning. If you look at my introduction of the series here, you have the key visual for Prechivism Miniskirt here. The original trio of the series was Rizumu and Serena and Mion, because in Miniskirt, Aira and Mion, they didn't exist yet. So this is something I already explained. So yeah, and then in Aurora Dream you had Aira, Rizumu, Mion, and then you in Rainbow Life you had the two teams, Prism Stone and Ederose, with Naru and Ito at Prism Stone and Wakana, Beru, Oto at Ederose. And then you have Over the Rainbow as well, Hiro, Koji, Kazuki. So yeah, like, I'm really excited for this. And since the new tournament in the movie is going to be trio focused, and the first key visual they showed is Minato and Yukisama and Kazuo, so I assume these three are going to form a trio for the tournament. But I wonder if this means other Edelrose characters are going to participate as well, because there are still Shin and Taiga and Leo and Yu left, so there's 4 people left. So I wonder if they're going to do another trio, or are they just not going to participate in the tournament, and is it sole Edelrose team in the tournament will just be Minato, Yukisama, Kazuo, Kakeru. But I like calling him Kazuo for fun. But yeah, and this trailer is also implying over the rainbow in the trailer, they're saying that they're going to participate as well. But I assume there's going to be some kind of story shenanigans that happens so that they don't, maybe they will participate, or like maybe they won't, because like if they participate, obviously they're much stronger than everyone else, so they should win. But I assume like they're going to do some kind of story reason for why they can't be at full power or something. And because maybe they will participate as a trio, but maybe they will act as if they're doing their show solo, kind of like what happens at the end of Dear My Future with Mars after the Kesera arc. Like, I'm not gonna spoil, but if you watch Dear My Future, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and you also have some Jin shenanigans. All the footage in the trailer, by the way, is old footage. It's from the past movies, but the voice acting is new, right? So Jin is saying, we're going we're sending Edelrose to hell for real this time. Strasrose is the best. We have the edits. We can make it the best trio ever at any time. We are ready for this. So yeah, Jean is incredible character as well. And so yeah, the trailer is implying that Triumviratus, Rui and Joji and Arek are going to participate as well. And it's hinting that Over the Rainbow is going to participate as well. And it's hinting that these three are going to participate as well. So I'm not sure if this is just a teaser or are they actually going to play a big role for real. Because these three, they initially appeared in the Prism Rush Live mobile game that was in 2018 or so. If you look here, I opened their pages. So the one in the middle is Revon Turet Nikkanen. So he was one of the characters that appeared in the Prism Rush Live mobile game. It was in 2018. He was one of the brand new characters that were introduced via the mobile game back then. And it was in the special scenario that was released back then, which was directly written by director Hishida. It was the Road to Shiny 7 Stars scenario, which was some kind of a prequel to the Shiny 7 Stars movies. And these prequels introduced these new characters. So you had Nick Cannon. And he also made some cameo appearances in the Shiny 7 Stars movies and in the Dramatic Prism 1 and Prism 2's movies. So you had him, and then you had the twin brothers Sakyo and Ukyo Amamoto. And I always used to nickname them Ho-Ho and Lugia because they're pretty much Ho-Ho and Lugia. So I always used to nickname them that. And these two are also two brand new original characters that were first introduced in the mobile game that closed since then. But thankfully, some of the English fans, they did an archive of all the events, of all the story elements, so you can read them on the wiki, I think. But yeah, they only had some cameo appearances in Shiny 7 Stars and in Prism Tours. So hopefully this means that actually they're going to play a big role in this movie if they actually form a trio, and like are they going to for the first time get some more screen time and do more stuff, because like since the Road to Shiny 7 Stars they never did anything as far as I know. I didn't watch every single thing yet, and I didn't watch all the stage plays, and I didn't read all the information, but as far as I know they didn't do anything major since Road to Shiny 7 Stars, so maybe it is going to be their time to shine now. Another thing I wanted to mention is yeah, like I'm really excited for this because in a way going for a trial tournament like this is in a way going back to the roots of Plagiarism with the trials, so I'm pretty excited. And then you also have in the trailer you also have Tsubasa, who is one of Minato's sisters. You have Takanawa Gateway Prince, which is one of the many characters in Schwarzro's part of the, I forgot how it's called, but like there's characters in Schwarzro's, they all have names based on rail stations in Japan, in Tokyo. They are all part of the same subway train line. And so this is Takanawa Gateway Prince. And it seems he's saying that he wants to challenge Minato with Tsubaki on was it Tsubaki or Tsubasa? I forgot. I opened up Tsubasa. She's Tsubasa. So she's one of the Minato. I think he has 6 little brothers and sisters in total. So she's one of his Imoto, right? So Takanawa Gateway Prince in the trailer is saying that he's challenging Minato for his sister. So I assume he likes her or something. Like I don't know if they. To be honest, like I'm saying this several times, but I still haven't watched all of Shiny 7 Stars and all of Kin Tours. But I'm pretty sure it's the first time they actually show him. We already saw his name before because at some point they already revealed the names of all the Schwarzro's characters who have the same names as the train stations. But this is the first time we see him, I think. So yeah, this is interesting because this is also something I already said, and how King of Prism, like personally I do like it, but it's one of the reasons why it's not getting more popular is they actually have female characters, and they actually have like not necessarily romance, but they have the male characters. They regularly interact with female characters, and some of the purity otaku, some of the women otaku, josei muke audience, they don't like this, right? So if you compare it to a series like Ainana, for example, they don't show female characters like this, and they don't show the idol characters interacting with female characters like this. So this is one of the reasons why, sadly, King of Prism will never be super popular among josei muke and otome gay fans, but like it's one of the reasons why I like it personally. But yeah, and if you look at on Twitter, the CEO of Takanawa Gateway Prince made a pretty funny tweet as well. Give me a second. Oh yeah, on Twitter, Kobayashi Chiaki, who is the CEO of Takanawa Gateway Prince. So after the announcement for the new King of Prism movie, after the TriStar Act trailer got released, he made this really funny tweet. It was like, yeah, so I'm voicing Takanawa Gateway Prince in the new movie King of Prism TriStar Act. And by the way, anyone knows anyone knows what Takanawa Gateway Prince is? So like, I'm not sure if he's just joking or if he's genuinely confused. Obviously, he did an audition to pass the role, and he knew he was going to voice him. But it's still a really funny treat. Like, how to say this? Like I always say, King of Prism, it's serious, and it's like, you shouldn't think of it as a funny thing. The King of Prism is self-aware, so they know that it's funny, like the nakedness, like the fan service. They know it's funny, but it's taking itself seriously, and like, you shouldn't only think of it, haha, so funny. Like, this is not so random, so over the top, so funny. Like, this is true, but there's also an actual story, actual world building, actual characters, etc. So the staff making King of Reason, they are self-aware, and they know since the Preterism era. If you look at Preterism or Regime, they know it's over the top, and they're doing it on purpose. But it's in order to make the audience laugh, but also at the same time, they're serious about it. So they're doing comedy, but they're serious about it, and that's what I like about it. It's self-aware, and yeah. And if you look at Kobayashi Chiaki's role, it turns out he actually voiced one of Minato's brothers as well. So I'm curious now, maybe actually Takanawa Gateway Prince is actually one of Minato's brothers, or is it just a coincidence and they just decided to reuse one of the Seiyu? Like, I don't know, because if you look at their eyes, they're slightly different, so I don't think it's actually the same person. But they do look similar, right? It does have bluish eyes, so like, I'm not sure, like, is it actually his brother, or like, is there something else going on here? So this is pretty interesting as well. And yeah, like, this is pretty cool because I actually like Minato a lot as well. I would say it's one of my favorites among the new characters since King of Prism started. And as I always say, I don't count you among the new characters because technically he was there since Rainbow Life. So like, he's my favorite, but like, I don't consider him because it's cheating because he was there already. So yeah, Minato, I like him a lot. So I'm really looking forward to seeing more of his family. And Kobayashi Chiaki, if you look at his roles, to be honest, like, his first role was in 2018, I think. So like I always say, I stopped watching anime weekly seasonals in 2016. So most of the seiyus that debuted after that point, I'm not very familiar with them. Yeah, he debuted in 2017, so I'm not that familiar with him. Like, I haven't watched that much anime with him. But apparently he was in Free Ren, he was in Marshall, he was in Skate, he was in Twisted, in Build Divers, Rerise, etc. But yeah, I haven't watched any of these yet. Oh, and he's Nakamura in Nakamura-kun. So yeah, like, he's quite popular, I assume. But yeah, I haven't really watched most of these shows. Oh, and he was a side character in What Chapli Maji. なるほどね。I see, I see. So yeah, like, I wonder if this is just a coincidence, or if Takanawa Gateway Prince is actually one of Minato's brothers. To be pretty interesting development. But I assume even if he was the same person, they wouldn't have picked the same seiyuu. So I think they wouldn't have put such a big hint out in the open like this. So I don't think they're the same person. And yeah, so I think that's everything. So yeah, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, etc. Remember to check the links in the description below. And I'm gonna try maybe to expand on my thoughts on TriStar Act in the article version for this video. But yeah, like I'm just really looking forward to it. And the last thing is that obviously they reconfirmed that Hishida Masakazu is directing and is writing the script as well. And I'm saying this just in case, because if you look, King of Prism is so unpopular because it's just Muke, etc. and no one cares in the English anime discussion. When you see a news sites talking about King of Prism, they only do so when there's a new film getting announced, a new announcement like this. They don't realize that if you look at the staff list, they don't know that the scriptwriter, Aobajo-san, the scriptwriter Aobajo-san is actually the director. It's one of his nicknames, and it was one of the nicknames he started since I think it was since Rainbow Live, since Dear My Future, I forgot, but it's one of the nicknames he used. So in a lot of sites you see directed by Hishida Masakazu with a script by Aobajo, and they don't realize it's actually the same person because they don't know about plagiarism. But yeah, on AniList, they properly list him as the scriptwriter because yeah, he's the main scriptwriter. And you also have Matsuda Mai as always on the cover design, and Daisuke Kato as one of the people making the Prism gems. So yeah, like I'm really excited for this, obviously. And and one last thing is they said it is for the 10th anniversary of the King of Prism series, but they technically didn't say that the movie is going to release this year. So yeah, we don't know how far production is, and the trailer doesn't show any new footage. All the footage in the trailer is actually from past movies, I think, except for this scene, except for this scene with Takanawa Gateway Prince. Or maybe even showed it before, I'm not sure. But like, I'm pretty sure except for this scene, for example, the scene with Jin talking at the beginning, it's the same scene as from the beginning of Shiny 7 Stars, right? When he announces the Pride 1 tournament, right? So yeah, like maybe it's going to release in 2027 actually, even if it's for the 10th anniversary. But anyway, like yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna try to expand on my thoughts a bit on the article version. Remember to check the link to the site on the description below. Remember to like, subscribe, etc. Blah blah blah. Let me know what you think in the comments, blah blah, etc. So yeah, Prism is free. Pretty excited for this. Really looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of Jin's antics as well. Yeah, 22 minutes talking about plagiarism. Pretty cool video. Thanks for watching. Bye.